Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How are y'all tonight? Okay. I'm expecting somebody to like talk back to us, but that is not happening right now.
I was like,
not on the stream.
Okay. Let me not do that.
mute ourselves.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not what I want.
Cute. I'm Dani Tirrell.
I'm Randy Ford.
I'm Mase III. And we're the living room.
That's what we are. I don't even know where to start.
Like, what is the living room?
Oh, what is the living room?
Yes.
Randy?
We're a video podcast started by 3 Black creatives on the trans spectrum. It started off as conversations in our car. We filmed in front of a live audience. We're now here on StreamYard/YouTube or Facebook if you're tuning in with us. Our YouTube and Facebook and IG is at The Living Room Seattle. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST, and we talk the shit, fashion, politics, self-care, and safety.
Yes.
Yes. And so in addition to all that, we have some few little commitments to collective growth. For those of y'all that have tuned in before, y'all already know what our commitments to collective growth are. Basically, we're here for Black, trans, and non-binary and gender non-conforming people. Everybody else, you're welcome to give your input, but that's what we focused on in the world. And we just want to thank y'all for helping to create a space and maintain a space for Black, trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people. Thank you. Yes.
For today's episode, we're going to be going through some self-care practices. Some of us have face practices. Some of us will talk about other things. I actually have mine upstairs, and I forgot to bring it down. Crocheting.
Ooh.
Yes.
Right. Maybe I'll try to like run and go get it eventually, but it's supposed to be one thing and it's turning out to be something completely that it's not supposed to be. And I'm just rolling with the punches. So yeah, we are still.
Love you too.
Say that again.
This comment from Lucci.
Hey, Lucci.
Hey, Lucci.
Love y'all too.
Love you too.
We are going to start off with our first beautiful segment. It's always our blessings and our bullshit. And what's that, Randy Ford?
Blessings and bullshit is kind of like our rose and thorn for a lot of you who are familiar, kind of like your highlight of the week and maybe what kind of sucked or something that kind of took you for a loop. And yeah, right now I'm going to go first. Blessings and bullshit. Let's start with a little bit of the bullshit. So I paid my car note on time, technically. Right.
Technically.
So
technically, okay.
Right. It's so annoying. So the place where I, make payments on my car, every way to pay costs. It's like if you call in, it's $20 just to pay your note. If you do it online, it's a $10 service fee. The cheapest option is to mail it in, right? And so I was told, like when I bought the car, hey, as long as your check is postmarked or the letter is postmarked on the day or the day before, right. It should clear and we'll get it, whatever. But Rona and pandemic, so mail's backed up or whatever. They call me today and they're like, hey, you're backed up. And I was like, no. I was like, there's a letter that came in. I mailed it in the day before and, it should take time. And they're like, oh, well, it should be here in our office. But I'm like, no. I was told that as long as it's postmarked, by the time you get it, there ain't no late fee attached to this $300 I'm paying for this car every month.
Whoa. Which just sounds ridiculous. Have to pay $20 to pay it too.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, well, we'll see if it comes in today. I'm like, oh no, when it comes in, you're gonna make it happen because it's a pandemic and we all know that the mail's backed up. So that's not my issue. That seems like a you issue.
It is a
so you better take in that payment because I am not paying a late fee. It's in there on time.
And you shouldn't have to.
And I shouldn't have to, right? I'm a responsible adult. So that was part of my bullshit a little bit. Or bullshit's kind of like into pop culture shit. Before I get into that, I washed my face with a volcanic pore cleanser and I exfoliated with a little micro exfoliator. I have dry skin, so I have to like really get all the crust and dirt and stuff out of my skin. Plus, I worked out today, so there's sweat. And so I cleansed, and now I'm about to put on a bentonite volcanic clay mask with apple cider vinegar. But anyway, blessings. I paid my card on time.
So you did pay it on time.
You know, it's still my blessing. I still felt like an adult when I mailed it in.
Right.
I filled out my ballot. That's cool. I find out tomorrow if the thing has happened.
Yay.
And I decided to give myself the win, which is one of kind of like my Saturn return mantras. Just give myself the win and don't try to, like, I don't know, monetize success, you know, in that way. Like, I'm a winner. I won the award. Thank you so much for giving me the award, everyone, and voting for me. Street. It's an honor.
Did you say what the award was for people that didn't know what you're talking about?
So, thank you, Jamie. So I was nominated, Queen Street was nominated for the Queer Art Prize for recent work. And this award is put on in part by Queer Art, which is the organization that is a national organization that recognizes art all around the globe, pretty much. And it's also put on in part by HBO, fun fact.
That's amazing.
Right? And so, yeah, Queen Street was nominated, and I find out tomorrow in a ceremony via Zoom if I receive an award of $10,000 and recognition as a Queer Art Prize winner, I guess. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that.
We know you got it. We know you got it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone's support has been amazing, and love and all of that. And I've been really just sitting in that.
That's good.
And it's my blessing for sure.
Yay.
Yay.
As I'm getting mask in my eye right now.
Are you both doing the apple cider vinegar? Is that what's happening?
No, I am doing this pore clearing color mask with volcanic clusters. It's purifying.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I used one. I mean, thank Randy for bringing this to my house.
Yes,
because
I got you.
My stuff is really simple.
What did you say your face is like?
My face routine is like?
Or like what kind of skin? What's your skin type?
Oh, my skin is oily at times.
Okay.
A lot of times.
Okay.
So yeah.
Stuff for you.
Yeah. Putting this on, not really pretty right now.
Oh yeah, no. The point is not to be pretty.
Right.
The point is to be pretty later, you know? Getting pretty. You know?
My eye watering because I put the clay in my eye. But it's okay, you know?
Good. You still look great.
There. So my blessing is, I need a towel. Thank you. My blessing is a movie that I saw yesterday. It is called Saturday Church.
Okay.
It is on Netflix. It stars MJ Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And India Moore. It was created in 2017, but I think it was released last year, 2018. Thank you. And it is a musical. It is about a little trans or coming into their transness boy, trans feminine, 14 years old. His father just died, and he lives with his mother and his younger brother, and he used to try on his mother's clothes, and his family was like, no. But anyway, it's based in New York. He meets these trans women and this other cute little gay boy. And he starts to go through this exploration and this journey. He had a really horrible situation with his aunt. She was a horrible person in there. One of my favorite actresses, but a horrible character. She pretty much was just like, you're a man and you're not a faggot and blah, 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 blah. And so he leaves home for a few days. He starts to do sex work and realizes, like, I don't want to do sex work. But anyway, it's a musical. it can be seen as cheesy, but I really loved it. It made me cry. It was really tender, to be quite honest with you. And then at the end of the movie, it was really about like his mother affirming who he is, and just her love for him, and then the support of the community around him. So it's just a really beautiful movie. Again, Saturday Church. It's on Netflix. Again, it's one of those movies where it's just like it's short. It's like an hour, 22 minutes, but it's just really beautiful. And I think it also touches a lot on like if you had that experience, you will completely understand that experience. So I cried. I felt really good. The music was also like touching. And again, it was just a feel good movie. I just loved every moment of it. Like he fell in love with the other boy in the little gay house, and you know, it was so sweet. I was just like, oh.
I love little queers falling in love. Yeah. That makes me so happy.
And of course, there's a creepy older guy who, you know, but the creepy older guy wasn't black. That's good.
Okay.
But the characters are black. So it's just a really good, like, it was just really, I just needed to see that movie yesterday. So that was a blessing. So check out that movie, Saturday Church on Netflix. Love that. Other blessings. I'm starting to feel creative again.
Okay.
Yes.
More about that later. Yeah, because I don't know where it's going to land, but I'm feeling creative again. Bullshit. I hate teaching over Zoom.
Okay. Oh goodness.
I just hate every moment of teaching over Zoom. Especially teaching a dance class and people decide to turn off their cameras in a dance class. I did not sign them up for this class. They signed up at the university that they attend. And so it's really hard when you are involved in art forms that need audience feedback and participation.
Yes.
Or audience or spectators or whatever the case, and you get nothing. I'm like, I should not be working this hard to like get nothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I also think that we need to just sink into the fact that it's a pandemic and people want life to be back to normal. But anything over Zoom, your children are going through hell right now. You think you're going through hell. Your children are going through hell trying to be involved in these classes. You're going through hell trying to be involved in these meetings at home. Like, we need to restructure every freaking thing that we possibly can, because I'm realizing how unfair it is to us to just move forward and not act like this is not happening. This is hard. Teaching over Zoom, attention spans, it's not hard. There has to be another way. So anyway, that is my bullshit right now. Mason, what about you, love?
So my blessing. So I decided I want to do a little trans book festival, a digital book trans festival. And so that's what's going to happen. So me and Dana are going to host this thing. The bullshit is we might have to do it sooner than we thought we were going to do it. So when I first was sort of talking to Dana, we were sort of chatting about it. We were thinking about doing it in April. But, you know, I called some universities that I work with over the year and was like, hey, do you think that universities would partner on something like this, you know? And so because of the executive order that went out a few weeks ago on diversity, equity, inclusion sort of things, a lot of schools are freaking out about how they're going to spend their money around stuff. And so some schools that are like, we're going to fight this thing, we're going to sue, we're going to do all this. And there are some schools like, no, if y'all don't get this done by November 21st, none of this will happen on our campus, right? And so now we're kind of putting together a festival a little sooner than we anticipated. But that's the joy. I'm actually curious for other people that are watching, like what y'all's blessings and bullshit are. Because we got to all get our get our stuff together in a way. But yeah, I think for me, when I think about especially that executive order, you know, racial justice work That's happened. Trans liberation work has happened with or without the government's approval. So I know all that work will still continue to happen through people that are committed to that happening. It's just interesting to see who solidarity partners are now and who are the people that are going to fall off.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is also time to kind of put out there a collective blessing that we all have and we are a part of. And there will be more information coming extremely soon. The Suli Fund, in partnership with Pan-African.
You're about to make it up. You're about to make
it up. Wait.
What?
African Center
for Enrichment. Oh my God, we're gonna die.
I'm gonna look at my email. See, that's why I don't talk about stuff to the
I know today was one of the days. Wait, it's right here.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Get on pace.
Yeah.
There we go.
With something. We're so bad right now.
Hey,
they're gonna be like, y'all are fired.
We're not brand ambassadors, thank goodness.
Right.
But we are advisors.
We are. Okay, the Pan-African Center of Empowerment. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Hey, the Pan-African Center of Empowerment.
Yes.
We are on an advisory committee for the Suli Fund with some other folks. And so we are going to be making sure that Black and brown, queer, and trans and non-conforming bodies have some money in their pockets through a process. And again, we're making like a soft announcement now. So the first round of funding will go to anyone that is HIV positive. Particularly looking for queer youth and queer women of color, queer Black women, queer Black youth, Black and brown folks, specifically trying to really Black folks. Let me just be very clear, Black folks. Let me be clear.
Clear.
And we know a lot of funding also goes to men that are HIV positive, but we also want to emphasize women and youth that are queer, trans identified, cis, lesbian identified, however you identify. So that is coming, I believe in the next 2 weeks or so, we're going to try to move that forward. And you'll hear more about that from us and from social medias and all that other stuff. So if you know anyone that is HIV positive, that can benefit for some funds, you can drop us a line on all of our social media. If you know us personally, you can email us personally. We want to make sure that we are covering that. And you don't have to just live in Seattle or the Northwest. So please just let us know and we'll make sure that happens. And also you don't have to disclose anything about your status. We will not disclose anything about your status. It will be anonymous. Well, not necessarily anonymous. We will know, but it won't be publicly known. So that is collectively some blessings that's happening. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there before we forget. Again, the Pan-African Center of Empowerment.
You concentrate so hard when you look at it. You're like, it's like your brow just like.
I'm looking at the camera so I can make sure I say it.
My brow can't move because of the mask.
Listen, that's why I just got the light lotions on. I got the moisturizer. I got my little
I love it.
Toners together. My sunscreen.
We'll wet our towels so that we can wipe this off. Because mine's getting hard. I don't know about yours.
That's why I was like, I could do a mask with you, but I know I'm gonna have to do something with it before the end of the show.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yes. So thank you, Dani, for also just sharing that with folks. And so, like Dani said, there's going to be some applications coming out really soon, and we're excited. The intention, I think, is to get them out before the end of October. That's the hope, and we cannot wait to get that money to the people. Other folks, we still do want to we would love to know what your blessings and bullshit are in the chat as we start to get to, or in the comments, right? Because y'all watch it on Facebook and YouTube or whatever. But we can get our stuff together. because we're going to show you some things as we're doing our self-care routines of our faces and our skin, making sure our skin all taken care of, our melanin all taken care of. We're also going to be talking about some other self-care processes as well as some safety stuff. Stuff is getting real in the world. I don't know if you know.
Right.
Stuff is getting really real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. What we realized, and I think the three of us, what's coming up is that, especially centered around voting, we're all feeling this tug and anxiety and these things happening. And I would say, out of my 46 years of living on this planet, and my years of voting, I have never felt this type of thing happen to me before. So we really want to focus on safety and making sure people are safe, especially queer and trans and non-conforming bodies, especially Black folks, because they can be your white friend, but something just tells me like you're gonna have to check your white friends during election time. So just so anyway, go ahead.
And what I think is important about that is there are people that will try to gaslight you about what kind of level of anxiety you might be feeling during this time. And so people that gaslight you about the type of anxiety you are feeling, what we're seeing is a definitive increase in violence. It is not fake. It is not, no. It's like those stats, those reports, those are out there. And so there are some people, like I put up a post actually on Instagram a few weeks ago about safety and saying to Black and brown folks, indigenous folks, have conversations about safety with your friends. And I got a bunch of inboxes from white folks who were like, oh, this is how people can be safe at the polls. And I was like, I wasn't just talking about the polls. I was talking about when I come outside my apartment, when I go to the store, when I have to when I'm even just getting food or something like that, I'm worried about my safety on a regular basis and not just at the voting booth, right?
Right. I will definitely. I just want to say this, especially on voting day. Again, we don't know what's going to happen, but please try to make sure, food resources. If you need people to help you access food or give food or any type of way. Again, we'll be talking about this more up until voting day, but I didn't mean to cut you off, Mason. I just wanted to you said food, and that really was important to me. Just making sure people don't have to go outside in case things turn violent. So yeah.
I have a thought. So, and this might be, we didn't talk about this thought, but I'm having a thought, right? This is my thought. So, like I said, we're going to show, in a second, I'm going to show y'all my safety bag. So people I don't know what a safety or a go bag looks like. You're going to get to see one here live today. You're so excited. Yes. And kind of going off of Dani, making sure your food resources, your water resources, all that are together. We also recognize some of y'all might not have access to that. If you do not have access to that, I would be down to help fundraise for some stuff for people to get some shit. So if y'all hit up one of us, where's our banners? Where's our banner with us? If you hit us up on the living room Instagram, yeah. So at the living room, I'm trying to show the banner. Nope, it is show. Nope, where's the banner? Yeah, it's on the bottom. Okay, at the living room. Yeah. So it's so small. I didn't see it. My glasses is gone. Please hit us up if you're watching this right now and you don't have those kinds of resources, but you're I am actually concerned about having my go bag or something to let us know, and we can figure out a way to kind of fundraise that stuff for you, because there are people that are willing to give, that know the importance of this moment, and we want to make sure every Black and brown person, transgender, non-conforming, non-binary person has what they need, right?
So pretty much what you're saying, Mason, is that we're doing a fundraiser to raise funds to make sure that for election day and maybe beyond, and people got some money. So we're going to talk about that even more in the next, probably after we get off of this. We're going to talk about that more and have a more formal plan.
I love that.
And again, so we have a voting safety resource fundraiser happening, and we have a Suli Fund fundraiser. Well, it's not a fundraiser. Suli Fund, we're just going to give folks money that are HIV positive. Yeah. And then the living room is going to do a fundraiser to make sure that Black, trans, and queer folks, hold on, y'all.
Yes, good missed. Yes, missed.
have money.
And feel fresh. You know, got that resources to feel really fresh, you know?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And so for those of you who don't know what I just did, we just toned with witch hazel, hyaluronic acid. This is kind of mainly for the oily girls, but this is kind of just to like balance your skin and give a little a serum to it, and then mixed with some rose water.
I need to write down all of this and do it.
I don't know if I didn't go through the same process as y'all, but if anybody wants to know my process that I just did, I was doing I did an apricot scrub with a silicone massager situation.
Yes.
I followed it up also with a witch hazel toning. So this is
Witch hazel.
Yeah, witch hazel is shit.
I need to get witch hazel.
Oh, at the store in where you get the medicines at the grocery store. Yeah. After that, this very expensive ass moisturizer that Randy hit me to called Elegance or whatever. This thing, yes, this is a Randy Ford endorsed by. It's a little bottle, but a little bit goes a long way.
Sure does.
And I followed it up with some Black Girl sunscreen because everybody, including Black folks, we need to be wearing sunscreen. Okay.
Yes.
David Rue shaded the shit out of me one time for not wearing sunscreen on a sunny day, and you don't ever want to be shaded by David Rue,
right?
So I learned really quickly to never not wear SPF.
Yeah, David Rue got a lot of shade to give. I can only imagine.
Right.
Listen.
Also, again, we're talking about safety while voting and self-care and self-love. I know, Mason, you have your safety bag, your wellness safety bag. I'm so excited about it. Yes, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So there's lots of different companies that do safety, like go bags and stuff like that. This one in particular that a friend hit me to, this is called a Judy bag, as you can see on the front. So Judy is a company that have, I think, about 3 or 4 different levels of go bags and go boxes and stuff like that. And so we're going to do an unboxing, and just so you can see what's in this prepackaged box, okay? And what sort of things you might need in your go box, whether or not it's from a specific company, whether or not you make it yourself. One of the features I like about this is it's a simple backpack, right? So your go bag should be something that you can pick up and go with really quickly. If your go bag is a 50-pound suitcase, that's probably not the jam. Get some wristbands that you can actually physically move with if there was an emergency, okay?
Yes.
So that's the first thing. Inside this, there's what I also like about this in particular one I got. There's like different little boxes and stuff inside of it, so they've actually organized everything. A lot of times when you get a pre-made one, they'll like kind of dump everything in there, but this one is like they have everything very much organized. So this first box that's up in the top here is safety and warmth. Okay.
Okay.
And what is included in the safety and warmth is I have dust masks, I have ponchos, gloves, glow sticks, emergency whistle, hand warmers, and rescue blankets, right? And so this small tiny box has all that stuff in there, clearly labeled so that I can see it, I can run with it, all that stuff. I don't have to think about it too hard, right?
Yes.
The second box I got in here is tools and first aid. So if you right, so outside of your warm stuff and your safety stuff, you're gonna need some tools and some more first aid stuff. And so in here, it has AAA batteries, an LED flashlight, a multi-tool with like a little knife situation, other sort of stuff, and can opener, duct tape with roll, a disposable charger, right? So for my phones and devices, a basic first aid kit, a biohazard bag, a quick dry towel, pocket tissue, hand sanitizer, wet wipes, a hand crank radio, just in case, and a charger flashlight. So a charger flashlight, right? So all these different things. So I can use my stuff to do that, right? There's another one. I like y'all's little mask. Yes. And so this one again, it's got all that stuff clearly labeled in here, right? Nice little small safety kit, flashlights, all that stuff there. Okay. And then the last one in here. This is the last one here. last but not least, you got your food and water. Okay, so your food and water.
Yes.
This is enough food and water and all these supplies. This bag is enough for 2 people, right? You might not believe that, just like how small these things are. This is enough for 2 people for multiple days. And so what we have in here, we have all these different water pouches. So we have nice little thin water pouches you can kind of run with. And we got little food protein bars and food bars and stuff like that, right? So is this what's cooking? No, but will it get you to where you need to go if you're in an emergency situation and you need calories and you need to make sure that you have enough energy to get through your day and to think? Most definitely. Yeah. So
thank you so much for showing that, Mase. Like, I think even if you don't have this actual box, I think you can like make a list of things you might need and get like a, you know, whatever bag you need that's lying around your apartment, your house, etc., or, you know, wherever you're at, maybe if you don't have one. But yeah, it's always important to have a bag on you that has all of your essentials. That's like what, less than how many pounds you said?
This bag, well, so really so this one, I think this one is probably like, this one feels like it's a 15-pound bag, something like that. It's not a very heavy bag. So, so I was like, yeah, and so get stuff that you can actually run with. Like if you get a bag, like there's some that that are for like 4 people or like 6 people at a time. Those things are gonna be heavier. So I would suggest you have a car if you have stuff like that, you know. But if you gotta run, you know, that's something small. Yeah.
I would say part of the safety I'm thinking about is paying attention to what's happening around you with people also. Rhetoric, propaganda. If places are becoming increasingly more violent in language and actions, like we also need to look at safety, like what's happening in our environment, because we also don't want things to sneak up on us. So yeah.
Absolutely. And some of the things is like, especially for those of us who like work late at night, you know, like who knows that you're working, you know, who knows where you're working or, you know, how you're getting to and from. Do you have someone who's, you know, telling you, hey, text me when you get home late at night, or, you know, do you have someone to go to when you need a little extra cash at the beginning of the month or something? Like, who can we identify those in our networks, you know, around us, whether that's, you know, your neighbor, your coworker that's always lends you their car. I have one of those. You know, like who's able to lend you their car if you're out of a car, you know, like we need to be really thinking proactively about all this stuff because y'all, like we said, it's happening every day. One of my friends was approached, you know, by some person at gunpoint, you know, and so like it's happening. Like we're not making this up. We're not saying it's a conspiracy. Like it's actually happening. We need to be safer and like, and together. We need to be together even more. Yeah, it's so important. It's also important to maintain your mental as well too. While you know we are getting through this. Mondays we have a support group through the Washington Black Trans Task Force from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. PST. It's an hour. One of our social work interns, Michaela, leads it, and it's really great. It's been a great space for me to find a moment of pause. You know, like it's, you know, it's right at the end of a work day, you know, period. It's just for an hour. And there's also this, I've been basically reminded of all the tips, you know, that, you know, I have and tools that I have of like, you know, clearing your mind, being centered, you know, what to do when your mind is flooded, what to do when you have a panic attack. Did y'all know that if you ever have a panic attack, you can bite into a lemon or drink lemon juice and it'll take you out of it because the shock from the bitterness will take you out of it.
I did not know that.
So like maybe you also have lemon juice in part of your safety kit, you know, for those of us who have high anxiety. And so like things like that is like things that we need to be sharing and we need to know and we need to utilize. And so like finding those, you know, resources out there. So if you're cutie BIPOC in the community in Seattle and you're looking for just an hour, you know, of the start of the week, just to be with community, you know, please log in. Please hit this post up. I post about it. Follow the Washington Black Trans Task Force page at WABTTF. And yeah, like it's it's needed. Like it's needed. We need to proactively be on top of maintaining, especially if you're in a leadership position. You need to really be like making sure that your mind is good, so that then you can do the work that you can do. And so that's my challenge for me. That's also for me, because I will get caught up in everything and I'll forget to take care of myself. I'll forget to go to therapy. I'll forget to set that boundary that, I don't work after a certain hour. I'll keep pushing through, and we don't need to be pushing through. Like we really do not need to be pushing through. Yes, find those, moments of creativity, but life is also really happening. So let's not get caught off guard. Right. So I just want to throw that in there for sure. We're gonna post it also in these posts attached to this episode.
I think also what that brings up when you said the piece around like having like lemons or stuff that takes you out of like panic attacks, I'm thinking also
Wait, say it again. You're thinking of what?
I was thinking about when you were talking about the lemon and things that you can do around taking yourself out of panic attacks. Thinking about if you can go to your doctor and say like, hey, like could I actually re-up for my medication a little early? Yeah. Like is it possible for me to have some extra just in case? Yeah. Like I know I have enough of my hormones and stuff like that I could be fine for the next few months. Just in case anything happens to the place where I am, or if I have to be someplace else.
Yeah. I mean, without going into like major details, but like someone close to me has gotten hate mail over stuff already. And other things were happening where everyone's talking about the order on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so someone wrote an article putting their information out there, so they received some hate email. And so again, it's like coming. Yeah, it's coming. It's real. So wanting to make sure that you all take care of yourselves in that way, and don't take it for granted. Like, don't take this time for granted. It is going to be a very emotional time in 2 weeks.
Listen.
I think, another way of like, we also, as we talk about safety, we want to talk about self-care and self-love. And Randy always says this: are you drinking your water?
Are you drinking your
Yes.
Listen.
Are you hydrating? Are you eating? Are you sleeping?
Water, not wine, darling.
Water, not wine.
Yes, water, not wine. So things like that. Are you hydrating? If you can, making sure you drink water, putting that in your body. I think some other self-care, self-love things is really limiting your work when you can, if it's possible, if you have a space to do that. I know all of us don't, but again, we get wrapped up in so many things because we feel like we have to produce something so much all the time. And me limiting my work has been a great part of my mental health.
Ashe.
And again, it's not like the work don't need to be done. So please don't think that it's like, I'm just like, oh, no. I am making an active choice to stop working past a certain time and stop doing certain things, and knowing that it can be done the next day. And if people don't like it, they just don't like it. I'm not up 24 hours a day. I am not a vampire. I'm not up in, I don't do that stuff. And before pandemic, it was already hard for me to take care of myself. And so now that I had some shutdown time, it was just like, that I refuse to go back to being super busy. Again, that is my choice. That is the self-love for myself. Don't get me twisted. I'm busy, but I'm making a choice of how that shows up in my life. Not thinking that I have to do it all the time and I have to be up and I have to, it just ain't. Look,
to equally invest in work as you do rest. Like, what is it to equally rest hard?
Yes.
To work hard, rest harder. You know what I mean? Like, that should be the motto. It shouldn't be work harder. It should be rest harder. Especially as Black folks whose value oftentimes is valued by how, productive we are. Sometimes I hate it when I say I had a productive day. I'm like, bitch, what's productive mean? Right. I mean, you was like, up and at it, going wild and stuff, or were you, sleeping, eating, doing all the things, pacing yourself, saying the world will still spin,
right?
All that stuff. Doing my skincare routine. Isn't it cute?
No. So I was trying to I'm trying to take seriously everything y'all are saying. Also, y'all have been pandas for like the last 30 minutes. Yeah. So I really want y'all to talk a little bit about this mask that y'all got. What stage in the process is this?
Yes. So basically, after we mixed it with rose water, Dani did my face routine. I have dry skin, so I focus on after I cleanse, re-moisturizing my skin because it's a Sahara. And so after that, I like to put on eye gels. We have some snail cream.
I'm so about to take a picture of all of this.
Eye gels. I got these off eBay. These are from Korea. Girl, the Koreans got the skincare on lock. David, yes, the kids were scansing. The kids better get into this Panda Glow. Absolutely. And then after that gel, we put on this hyaluronic acid, and then I put on this. If anyone has an H Mart around them, go to H Mart. They have these really cute animal face masks. H Mart. It's I don't want to call it the Korean store. It's a supermarket full of Asian food and all just.
I'm excited to get there.
And there's one in downtown Seattle. It's really bomb. There's also one in the U District. They have really cute little moisture masks. This one says blackberry, probably has some kind of blackberry juice thing to it. But also, take the packet and put it in your hand and get all that extra serum and put that on your neck.
Oh.
Because don't forget the serum in the bag. That's money right there. Okay.
I'm learning so much.
Because after the first mask and the serums and stuff like that, for me, I'd be done. And so I'm like, oh wow, there's way more steps. How often do you do this? How often do you do this whole routine that you're doing?
It depends on how often how stressed. Thank you. Because if I'm stressed, I ain't doing it, and it's really sad. So I'm trying to, when I'm stressed, do it even more. But if I wear a full face of makeup, I'm especially doing all of these steps and more.
Oh yeah.
Just to get all the makeup out of my skin.
Yeah.
But after I work out, I like to do a mask because of the sweat from my hair and all these products coming down my face.
Oh right.
I gotta get all that out. So if I'm not working out regularly, maybe once every 3 days, I'll do all the steps but I'll do 1 or 2 steps if I haven't done much, or if I don't feel like it.
Right.
So yeah, I try to do it as often though as I can.
Listen.
I have great skin all the time.
I love it.
I woke up like this. I just woke up.
Kids better get into the Panda Glow. That's our Instagram.
Listen, I'm looking at y'all.
Thank you.
It is.
I feel like your cheekbones got higher just from that panda situation. I'm like, how does it? Yeah, I was like, apples to y'all cheeks.
We'll do another one, and I'll get us all a package, and we'll do it all together.
Yes,
we'll do another self-care pamphlet.
Yeah.
Especially after the election, we need to do something.
And band together.
Right. What other ways outside of skincare, hydrating, making sure you have care packets and care kits? What other ways do you both do self-love and self-care? What you reading, Mason? You keep looking down, reading something.
Oh no, I'm looking at I'm gonna is it Audra? Audra. So Audra said the Glisten and Glow is not a game. Yes.
Oh yes. The Glisten and Glow is not a game.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
And we can just go to sleep, wake up, a little splash.
Right.
I'm like, what else? So outside of those things, I'm thinking about very much just the ways that I make sure I'm trained in the things I need to be trained in. And then I feel physically safe. That's I'm trained in all things.
The things you need to be trained in.
Yeah, and I'm not a hand-to-hand combat kind of queer, so I got what I need.
I love it.
Oh my God, I feel so Charlie's Angels. I feel like I'm a hand-to-hand back queer. and I probably would lose.
Yes,
but I feel
man.
like I'm that girl that's just
kicking ass.
You know, Black Widow. I'm just like,
yes,
like
you are that girl.
I feel that in my spirit.
I don't believe you.
Like, I don't feel like I'm a gun girl. I feel like I gotta be like up in it and just like with hair tossing around and you know some fabulous outfits on that like get ripped and bloody but still sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I feel.
Shit.
Yes. So I feel like I'm that type of girl. Like hand-to-hand combat would be me.
I think I'm the sniper.
You're the sniper.
I think I'm the sniper. I'm the one at range but has your back. You know, you can't really see me. With a little bit of combat skills. You know, I get up on. I have a gratitude journal.
Ooh.
That it was a birthday present actually from one of my good friends, Andrew, and I just got into doing it this week. After being not doing it for like 2 months. But it's really good to just like go through and sometimes read and like read over like where I was in that point in time, what I was grateful for that day, who I was grateful for. Definitely y'all are mentioned in it for sure. And
thank you.
It's really nice to like, because you know, I have a written planner. And so when I write things in my day, it helps me like even just remember that I have things going on. And so when I write about what I'm grateful for, it kind of really helps me just remind myself like what I'm really fighting for, what I'm living for, you know, who claims me, all of that jazz. And yeah, I really want to like finish it and like read it over and like just see what's, cause I'm really fast paced. And so sometimes I forget what I did. Like I thought today was Thursday. You know what I mean? But I knew the living room was happening. But you know, I keep, you know, when I know my days are getting meddled, I need to really slow down. And so ways to pause for me are big for me because I'm very much going with that tide, that current. I'm all aboard the ship. You know what I mean? Once things are flowing and grooving, I'm like, yep, I'm here. And they're like, no, Rain, you need to sit down and like, you know, go tomorrow or something. You know? Thank you, Mulani, Melanin Glistening. So yeah, writing something for me, I try to write if I can in the morning. I'm noticing that when I can wake up and have a journal next to me, I can actually write a little bit clearer because sometimes I'll do a voice note of kind of like a dream that I had maybe or something. I'm still trying to do those tips that my behavioral health specialist person told me to do, like just recording my thoughts. So yeah, I've been blessed, you know, with opportunities like that to like talk to, you know, professionals and kind of, you know, friends and lived experience and all that stuff. So yeah.
I love it. Love it. Okay, part of my self-care. I kind of posted, I did post about it. I didn't kind of. Instagram shopping.
Yes.
Listen, I saw you post something about that. I'm like, y'all, someone rang my door today and I had no idea. I couldn't even imagine what it could have been. Like, that's how bad it's getting. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, Christmas, like, I literally do not know what this could be. I don't know, remember when. I don't know, remember how big. I just like, this is a gift from God at this point. Listen.
I
what you gotta do, right?
It's so bad, though. I'm just like, why?
My therapist told me the things that you do to cope honestly are also things that you should rely on as well too. Like, don't punish yourself for things that, you know, make you feel like splurging on a look or like, ooh, yes. Or like for me, smoking weed, you know what I mean? So like, oh, I should stop smoking so much weed. But then my therapist is like, if it helps you, you know what I mean? Like, yes, keep, you know, in mind things that, you know, too much of a good thing is always a bad thing, but, you know, indulging in your things that you love, like that sweet that, you know is not good for you, not the dairy, but like, you know, like treat yourself, you know, like
especially right now,
ourselves, you know, and like reward ourselves for making it through the day. You know what I mean? Like, little things like that help and make, life a little bit more worth something.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth with thoughts around that just because, you know, like it's so, there's so many things happening, right? So it's like, there's part of me that's like, you know, who knows what's going to happen in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks. You're like, let me get everything I need in one now, you know? And then there's part of me that's like, well, I need to be like, you know, have my mind as clear as possible. I need to have my body as clear as possible. I need to have like all this stuff just in case, right? Like when I think about the legacy of some of our organizers from like the 60s and 70s, like, they were preparing for the revolution in a way that was not just about, rhetoric and like on the ground organizing, but also their bodies all the time. You know, what y'all shopping? What y'all shopping?
I got to show you.
This is really cute.
All the shopping. I'm not even including the shopping. I can't. You got move that over. Move. See that? Okay.
Is that cute?
Yeah. Is that a sweater dress?
A sweater jacket.
A sweater cardigan jacket.
Thing.
Like it. It looked like a dress. It could be a dress.
It's all the way to the ankles.
Yeah, it could be a dress. It's a sweater dress.
How tall they are. Like, that's a whole nother angle.
This is a straight on angle.
Okay. It's a jacket. That's nice.
It's so bad. My poor husband. But guess what? I'll be fly. I know he just logged on.
They're gonna look so good, Marlon. It's worth it.
But I'll be fly, you know. I won't look like a bugaboo. I won't look like a bugaboo. So.
Everyone needs it.
But what I did do, I got it in a big enough size that hopefully both of us can wear it.
Mm-hmm.
See, it was for both of you.
Because he likes sweaters, so I don't know if he would like this, but
he said, "Yikes!"
It may be a little bit too feminine for him, but we'll see. He may get it and be like, "I love it."
Listen,
nothing like
I'm here.
Right.
I was sitting there trying to see if I could find the thing for y'all that I just bought off of Instagram, but basically, it's just I just got a bunch of macarons. I just wanted some sweet things. I'm just getting desserts and stuff like that. I'm at that level in that place. I just want.
He's on Instagram and he said, "Oh, you already ordered it?" I was like, "Duh."
It shipped.
Like, yeah, I already ordered it. So
funny.
Listen.
Yes. Thanks.
Oh yes. Okay, Lane.
A good hookup or two.
That is also that is also some good self-care.
Jewel the Gym, Jewel Kade, one of my favorite people on Instagram. She's like, her self-care is masturbation. I'm just saying. Jewel Kade. I want to try to see if we can get her on this show.
Like, hello.
Yes, I'm going to reach out to her and be like, can you just grace us from the East Coast? We're coming close to time. Oh, another thing, we are trying to, it's so much going on. Like, we know this show may seem all over the place, and Mason hates that. I just
don't do that.
Temporary.
You were already.
I was disciplined. Okay, I was just affirming that that's what I heard in the feedback.
That's why I said that. Because let's just say one of our executive producers. Yes, we're getting executive producers. More on that later. Called Mason, the disciplined one.
I can't help what my skills are. I cannot help.
Mason is very disciplined.
So I'm sure our newly formed executive producer will be watching this, and just how shady that was to the rest of us.
Listen.
Mason's the shady one behind closed doors.
I will never forget how shady you were.
I'm just like,
I know right now. Oh God.
No shade.
Right. So speaking of like this, we are moving into new horizons and territories for ourselves, and more on that soon. So instead of giving you an hour and a half, we're trying to cut it down to an hour. 60. 90 is an hour and a half.
Don't listen to me. This is why I'm not the disciplined one.
Listen, that's what I'm like. We said 6:10. Okay, 6:10.
The other thing that's happening is that, again, we're going to be transforming because the three of us believe in this platform, and we have some people that believe in this platform with us, and they want to make sure that we grow and we are around, and that we step up our game and we make this better and more accessible to people worldwide. So in the next few weeks, few months, you will see some changes happening. Starting in November, we are going to change our time because we want to try to reach more people. So we'll be competing with like The View and The Talk.
Is that some view sense? Like you're very like
daytime.
Yes, daytime. We still gonna probably say some words that are not meant for daytime. That's why we're online.
Okay.
But I'm just saying.
You know.
So for those of you that can't stay up late on the East Coast, for those of you on the West Coast that this is too late for y'all,
Lord.
we're going to change our time. And again, this is just to help us grow and help us become stronger in what we're doing. And we have some really beautiful support. And again, we will talk about that really soon. And I was not being funny when I said executive producer.
No.
Our self-appointed executive producer, but we love him. So don't get it twisted. Like, we love him. And he is more excited than us, I think, at times. And so when you have somebody more excited than you just go with the flow, and a lot of love and a lot of trust. So again, we just try to step it up. Just FYI, if anyone wants to style us for the future, that's good. That's good.
Like Rotimi. Okay, I told these two I would like a sexy gay Rotimi, like a skinny, like a shorter, smaller Rotimi. Yes, that is hooked up. That's what I want to do. That's what's your style? What's your style?
What's your style, Randy?
What's your style? Because I've seen my man, so I want to be
daytime style.
Rihanna.
Yeah, like for your what's your style for the show?
My daytime style for the show would definitely be a mixture of the Savage Fenty line, because I'd be like, waking up with Randy, because I wake up at like noon, and so that's what the show will be. With a touch of business casual.
Yes. Yes.
I want to have a shoe cam, but not bite off Wendy Williams if we're gonna do daytime. You know what I mean? Because
first it was Whoopi Goldberg.
Ooh.
Then it was Wendy Williams.
Thank you.
Listen.
So maybe you can bite off Whoopi.
Yes.
Because it's the outfit I want, like, fall is my favorite season also. So like I love the layers, I love the boot, like I love the thick socks. Like I am a fall person. I love the hats. Like I can't wait to have my hair braided up. Oh my god. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to like layers, West Coast kind of grungy, our little Seattle grunge scene in our document.
Right.
And like I'm ready for that.
Right. What's mine? I love bag dresses. I love anything that's like baggy and like it doesn't look like it has a shape until you put it on and like the shape is there. I like flowy stuff. I like some clingy stuff. Like it really depends on the garment and how it makes me feel. I'm a thick girl, so I'm also like, there's clothes that can complement thicker bodies, people that's still fashionable people.
Okay.
So, it's that type of thing. Like today, this is like kind of just like a muumuu type thing, but I got it because I love the colors. It's really bright. So I wear a lot of black anyway, but I do like some bright colors. So it'll just be like a mixture of just like, ooh, that's what I'm feeling in that moment.
Yeah. So
don't bring me no suits and no ties unless it's like a tie with a dress. I'm great. But exactly, it has to be. So that type of like thing there. Yeah. So just saying again, anyone out there with some great fashion sense,
we want to
listen.
And don't play, because we all, when we dress. So we already know how to dress ourselves.
We want to amp that.
We just want it amped up.
Right.
So don't think we're coming in here not knowing how to look great.
We have our looks. We know what looks good on us.
Boom.
How we want to look.
Exactly. So I need someone that's going to do like a really beautiful makeup job. That's not going to make my skin look like it's so wet and oily, like I've been going through a fire hydrant. So, yeah, that's our list.
This is our request, yeah. And these are paid gigs, by the way. These are paid gigs for styling.
Yes.
Since we got the production coming.
And last thing, We're looking for a responsible person to bring on board to do some work. It is a paid position. If you want more details, hit us up. Responsible person.
Casual list. A program manager.
To do some work. Well, I'm putting out the responsible because I don't want folks to be like, I just want to work with y'all. No, we need somebody who's going to actually get the work done.
What would be some of the requirements of this work for these responsible people?
Data entry. Yes. Data collecting.
Calling
folks. Direct service kind of, it's almost like a fourth us, you know what I mean? Like a way for us to have an extra person do like the businessy stuff so that we don't have to do this and the business.
Right.
And so, the business side of this.
And you're actually not working so closely with us. You'll be working with our producer. Mm-hmm. He don't play.
And he's great.
We love him. I'm just saying he don't play.
Thick skin.
You have to have thick skin. Yes.
And be able to move conflict easily and quickly.
I mean, we work. I think the three of us, we care about the work that we do and we work really hard. So the thick skin isn't like we're going to come in and we're not disrespectful. That's not the thing. But we're very, whatever. But we're very clear
Some
about.
people are shadier than others. Some people are shadier than others. Okay.
I know who I am. Look, I am probably the one that's the hardest to work with. I'm not going to lie. I am the one that's probably the hardest to work with because I'm also very clear on what I want when I work. And if it's not that way, I'm going to be like, no. And some people, J. Mase III, will push back against that.
Because I know what I want. I know what I want. You said you're the easiest. Brandy, Brandy, these are the cameras of truth, okay? Do not lie.
I am such a delight.
Listen.
It is time for us to go. Next week, we're supposed to have some special guests. One of the Seattle Kiki houses. Woo! We hope that is still happening.
It's happening.
The Royal House of Noir.
The Royal House of Noir.
Okay, I can say it. I was like, I'm just going to be really vague about it.
It's going to be for our Halloween episode.
Yes, our Halloween episode.
Promoting our Halloween ball.
Please ask J. Mase III to put on something queer that resembles a costume.
Please come in a costume. Please come in a costume.
I will. I could do that.
Thank you.
As sexy as your tank top is, we want a full costume.
With maybe a
about clothes now. Okay.
I just say, as sexy as your tank top is, we know next week you'll be like, I wear no costume. Like,
you have lights, you have all the trinkets, and
you do have all the.
I have a lot of stuff. I like wearing costumes on a regular day, just for fun.
Okay, good. Is there? Okay, I'm wearing green and gold.
I'm gonna wear something on the gold spectrum. I'm gonna be an animal, a sexy.
Okay. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can pull together.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I already know what I'm wearing. It's gonna be hot as hell, but I'm gonna wear it anyway. So, all right, everybody, we love y'all.
Love you.
I will be made up next week. I will have.
I'm gonna have a whole.
I'll have a
whole gimmick.
Yes.
See y'all later, everybody.
Love y'all. Thank y'all.
Love you so much.
Thank you for watching.
Make sure you're checking in with your loved ones before you go to bed. If you haven't heard from someone in a minute, hit them up. Check on folks. Let's do that. We love everyone. Yes, House of Noir. We see you on screen. Yes.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. And if people again want to get some support around getting a go bag, some survival stuff, let us know.
Mm-hmm. Moans, meds. Yeah, sometimes we have extra stuff. So let us know.
Sometimes that listen.
All right, y'all. That's it.
All right.
We out. The living room out. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Next week.
Yay.